Hey you know all the people in your business?
You should take advantage of CVM TV's unbeatable small business advertising package. Trust me.
And get your goods and services in front of your customers today.
For $150,000, you get a high-quality professional commercial.
Plus 20 prime-time commercial spots.
That's massive exposure at a fraction of the cost.
Including on the #1 morning show in Jamaica, Sunrise.
So don't wait. Call us on 658-208-5377 and see your business goals happen right here on CVM Television. Thanks so much for joining us for CVM News at noon for Thursday, May 29, 2025. I'm Curlin Brown. A firearm and several rounds of ammunition was seized in Newport on Wednesday night following swift action by law enforcement officers attached to the Newport police station. Reports are the police responded to a call reporting a loud noise from a bar located in Lime Tree Lane at about 8:20. And upon their arrival, the officers say they observed a man acting in a suspicious manner. The civilian reportedly dropped an object, and upon closer observation, the police determined it was a 4.59 mm pistol with a magazine containing 6.45 live rounds. Now, a further search of the suspect's house was conducted, and the investigators say more ammunition was found. 2 suspects were taken into custody. The Greenwich Farm community in St Andrew is proudly marking 8 months without a single murder. The last recorded was in September of last year. Residents have rallied around a peace initiative that's breathing new life into the area. At a special football match this week, hosted as a symbol of unity, Commanding Officer for the St Andrews South Police Division, Damon Manderson, says the peace effort has surpassed the police's expectations.
Every single day without violence inside this community is celebrated by not just us, but celebrated by the residents. They cheer it on, and every sign of it, they are the first to cry out to say, no way, we will not have it here. And so we're on to something. You come here on a nightly basis, and you'll see the parties, you'll see the get-together, you'll see the camaraderie of persons. We had over 1,000 people here parked along every single street and lane of Greenwich Farm. And I can ask you, how many vehicles have been broken into? How many police had to police it? None at all, because it's citizens themselves are policing themselves. They are policing it to say, look here, we have no place for violence, we have no place for gangs and gangsters, and therefore we're going to build our community.
Now, it's been years since houses were built and occupied, establishing new developments in St Andrew. However, ground was only finally broken for the growing population of citizens who have faced persistent water challenges. With an audience target of over 26,000 residents covering the tri-constituencies of Western, West Rural and Northwest St Andrew, the Prime Minister came with a faith-based message delivered as he broke ground for the long-overdue Ferry to Rock Pond pipeline project, along with a refurbished solar panel project. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation with responsibility for water, Matthew Samuda, laid the foundation, taking aim at the opposition regarding the level of activity in the sector.
The point that I've made is that none of this activity is conducted in empty fields. It's conducted with the product of the investment visible for all to see who have eyes to see.
The Prime Minister also spewed over the still nagging argument of water quality, saying so far no data support the allegation. He, however, rolled out the hose, as he put it, to get to the mind of the public, who would not have it previously, when he attempted to explain to the people who were out of patience, and rightly so, why the land of wood and water does not necessarily have water accessible to all. He poured over the dynamics of hilly terrain, source, pumping needs with a lifespan, to a fall-off from not having a culture of maintenance, to unavailable capital for investment and recurrent expenditure, making sly ripples of delivering what was previously just promises by others.
Was it because they didn't have the intention? Was it because they didn't care? Was it because they're just lackadaisical? No. They didn't have the money. I make this point because we are in the promising season. We are in the season where you're going to be exposed to good intentions all around. You may even be told that you're going to be given a horse that can fly. And some people will believe.
Politics aside, there was unity on this need, costing in excess of $1 billion.
This is not a day on which anyone can disagree about anything. We have to agree that everything about the timing of this project, the scale and scope of this project, and the technology, as I understand it, is right.
Curlin Brown, CVM News. Opposition Senator and Shadow Security Minister Peter Bunting has accused the governing Jamaica Labour Party of attempting to conceal corrupt practices as he attempts a defence of his colleague, political newcomer and opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, who's being sued for claims in relation to the procurement of a $31 million medical drill. Mr. Bunting was addressing a crowd during a tour of the Kingston Central constituency on Wednesday.
Once again, we find this lawsuit government, its cronies, attempting to gag any inquiry into potential corruption or prevent exposure of corruption. There is a company called Medical Technologies that supplies hundreds of millions in medical equipment to the Ministry of Health. The majority owner of the shares is listed as Donovan Williams. And if you have any doubt, it is the same Donovan Williams who is the outgoing member of parliament for this constituency of Central Kingston. When Dr. Dawes started investigating this transaction, because persons from within the Ministry of Health who are afraid of victimization but couldn't take the teeth in no more, contact him and say, this transaction smells fishy. Involving the supply of a drill that both Dawes and many other medical professionals suspected was overpriced. So Dr. Dawes went to the company's office of Jamaica, and their records showed that Donovan Williams was the majority owner. The company's office of Jamaica. This was not just plucked out of thin air. This was not speculation. Comrade Dawes did the responsible thing. He went to the company's office of Jamaica.
Member of Parliament for South West St. Elizabeth and Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green says he's confident in his ability to maintain support for the governing Jamaica Labour Party, even as the People's National Party candidate Miranda Wellington prepares to mount a strong challenge.
We in South West know that we are the key, and that's why we're confident that the Prime Minister will have a third term. The Prime Minister was with us on Saturday, and I think even himself, we had a workers' meeting and the outpouring was tremendous. And that was with 2 days telling people that the Prime Minister is coming. We know that we are the vanguards. And we're that way because of how our people are. We're very proud, we're very hardworking. We are not dependent on government. And there are certain things we want to see our country move forward around. We want to see nationally we're doing well. We want to see connectivity. We want it to be easier to get home in St. Elizabeth. So like how we have the Williamsfield Highway now, we want to see the breaking ground for the bypass for Spurtree. And the good thing is that the Prime Minister has outlined a clear plan of work that benefits us in a big way. And with Pedro Plains on the horizon, with the highway on the horizon, with all that is happening in Black River to lead the Black River rebirth, I'm very confident that the people don't want to see a change now. So we kind of light the pressure because we know when we secure the victory, which we will, the Labour Party will secure the third term.
Now, as the workforce evolves and the demand grows for flexible, skills-based learning, the University of the West Indies is launching a new initiative to meet the growing demands. It's called the UWI Short-Term Advancement and Resource STAR Initiative, a structured program to centralize and modernize professional short course offerings across the institution. Director Dr. Olivine Burke says a wide range of courses will be available to meet diverse industry demands.
We presently offer over 150. But we do have short courses for you. We do have communications, we do have tourism, we have project management, we have computed topography. You're talking about medical, in the medical area. You're talking about sports medicine, Spanish, French. There are so many. It is kind of not so easy to start naming all of them, but we do have courses across all the 7 faculties that we have.
Stay with us. News at Noon continues in a moment.
Care that's always close. Supermed Family of Pharmacies is where you go for everything you need. From your morning routine to life's biggest moments, Supermed Family of Pharmacies is always by your side. Whether it's prescriptions or household essentials, trust the care that's close to home. Super happy, super healthy, Supermed.
From politics to global events, from social issues to breaking news, Lead Story Prime dives deeper, cuts through the noise, and uncovers the stories that shape your world. Join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for Lead Story Prime with me, George Davis, for an hour of incisive analysis, expert interviews, and unparalleled coverage of the issues you care about. Lead Story Prime, your front row seat to the most compelling discussions. Lead Story Prime, where the truth comes first. Only on CVM TV.
Hey you know all the people in your business?
You should take advantage of CVM TV's unbeatable small business advertising package. Trust me.
And get your goods and services in front of your customers today.
For $150,000, you get a high-quality professional commercial.
Plus 20 primetime commercial spots.
That's massive exposure at a fraction of the cost.
Including on the #1 morning show in Jamaica, Sunrise.
So don't wait. Call us on 658-208-5377 and see your business goals happen right here on CVM Television.
Welcome back. Thanks so much for staying with us. Now, the Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Matthew Samuda, on Tuesday highlighted plans for various environmental projects and policies to be implemented. Among them, beach access for more Jamaicans. Now, this topic is one that has been lobbied for, in particular by the Jamaica Beach Birthright Environmental Movement, JABEM. We want to now hear from President of JABEM, Dr. Devon Taylor. Good afternoon and welcome, Dr. Taylor.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Great. Beach access again, it continues to be a talking point. But JABEM has a number of peaceful protests lobbying for beach access, highlighting the privatization of the coastline. What really is at stake here?
What is at stake here is the rights of the Jamaican people, not only to access the beaches, but to actually maintain their cultural ties to the space. How we have been using the space over generations, right? For fishing, for our cultural exchanges, for our baptism, recreation, harvesting seaweed, playing football, for all that Jamaicans use the beaches for. This is what's at stake. And this announcement, I have to say, is not addressing in totality what justice looks like for the Jamaican people as it relates to accessing the beaches and using the sea.
And Doc, you have been doing your lobbying. We know that there are matters before the court. We want to get an update from you right after this, but we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
The Time is brought to you by Ford Territory.
Welcome back. We're here every day. We want to access our local beaches, and that's the topic we're talking about right now. Do you want to complete your thought, Doc?
Yes, I am saying here that this announcement about new hotel developments will be required to provide access, and there are some operative words there that one have to pay attention to, which speaks to previously used new hotels. I mean, we have not seen in here about new developments and villas. All right, and this does not seem like it's a rights-based approach, an approach that will be sound in policy, legislation that would make it that Jamaicans have, unfettered rights to the foreshore and to the floor of the sea. That has not been addressed. And what has really, been not addressed is the elephant in the room, and that is the tourism industry that has commandeered, most of all the beaches all the way from Westmoreland into Portland. So this is the policy falls short because the reparative justice that Jamaicans are looking for and what we have been lobbying for. This is why we're in the courts. This is what people are saying. This is the fight now that is unfolding on Providence Beach in Flankers, right? And so there's a lot of contradictions in here that this announcement does not address.
So
it seems to address. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, we are in the politics season, and it may be a response to deal with this issue on the political partisan level. But on a level of just equality and what is right, it is not getting to the heart of the problem about the rights of the Jamaican people.
Right, you mentioned court, so let's now get an update. I know you were there with the Blue Lagoon Beach, Portland, and the Bob Marley Beach in St. Andrew. Is there an update you can give us at this time?
Well, yes. So we have 4 cases, and all of these cases are making their way through the court. We go back into the court for the Blue Lagoon on the 16th of June. For Bob Marley, we are there the 18th of September. The Little Duns River is June 4 and 5th. And in Miami Bay, we are awaiting a new date. And we are poised, in collaboration with the Flankers community in Providence to make sure that their rights are being protected. And if we need to do this legally, we will be doing so.
All right, we want to, at this point, listening to the minister as he explains that climate change is costing U.S. millions of dollars to fix coastal areas. Let's listen in.
That requires coastal revetment work. The cost per kilometer is $10 million for something that unlocks no new economic activity, simply protects older investments before. That gives you an idea of the scale of the climate crisis that we face. We expect temperature records to continue to be broken year in, year out, affecting SIDS disproportionately. It is why completion of our national adaptation plan and mobilization of finance is indeed critically important.
My question to you, Dr. Taylor, can privatization actually protect coastlines?
I mean, to the contrary, privatization is actually causing the erosion of our coastline. I mean, listen, the project that Sanders is proposing to build is going to take out a piece of coastal forest that contains mangroves and wetlands. Very important for drainage, very important for maintaining the integrity of the coastline. If you look along the coastline, many of these revetments that the minister is talking about have to come in place because of what we see as the degradation along the coast to build hotels basically in the sea and literally in the sea, right? We have significant